everyone, it's Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and I'm back with a weekly oracle card reading for April 8th, 2019. And it is a beautiful day outside. It actually feels like spring, finally. It's sunshine, blue skies, just like yesterday, and I think it's up to about 68 degrees, so you know what? I'll take it. Just a disclaimer as always, I am not a guru, I'm not a fortune teller, and I'm not a psychic. And these readings are for entertainment purposes, but also just to give you a little life direction. It's a general card reading. It's not a personal card reading, of course. I will be starting some personal card readings, hopefully by next week. I'm still setting things up a little bit. I'm going to start off small. I'm going to start on my Facebook the Pixie Post page and offer services there. So I'll be taking about a couple readings a week just to kind of pace things and see how things go. And once I have the prices set up and for what type of readings, I will post that on there. And just let me know in those comments whether you want to schedule something or any questions or comments you might have. So with all that, let's get into it. Okay. Today I'll be using a different card deck. It'll be Whispers of Love. It's by Angela Hartfield, and this imagery in here is beautiful as well. You can kind of tell I like decks that actually have some art in it or some symbolism, that kind of thing. There are some decks that are a little plainer and they're a little more direct, which is fine, but I'm kind of like, I like the colors, I like the inspirational type of images. So these are all angel oriented, and they're basically messages of love, but it's of love of all forms. It's not just romantic love. So we are going to try that and see what kind of direction we get this week. And again, as usual, I'm going to do my 3 cards draw. So, ooh, hello. You get to see me actually take it out of the box this time. And these cards are pretty cool. The front of it shows an angel looking like a harp, and then you see all the stars and the clouds, and of course, it's a representation of heaven in the way we all think of it, or some of us think of it. And I like the harp because the first word that comes to mind is harmony. So I really like that. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to shuffle the cards, and sometimes it takes a minute, and sometimes it's real quick. So we'll see how the cards feel today. Now that we're out of Mercury retrograde and we're out of all that mess, and now that we're going into the phase between new moon and full moon, I'm feeling the energy's lighter. It's a little more optimistic. It's all new beginnings and fresh starts. Of course, as always, we have to do the work, but things come a little easier to us for the most part. There's always an exception to the rule, of course, but most of us are feeling a little more drive, a little more lighthearted, that type of thing. So I think that's finally is way overdue and is so nice and refreshing, because for a while I was not feeling like that. I don't know about you guys. So, all right, I think one more shuffle. All right, ooh, boy, all kinds of cards trying to pop out. All right, got this one. See, sometimes when a card sticks out, that is a card that's meant to be drawn. If there are a whole bunch like this, you just pick or shuffle. I think I might shuffle one more time. Oh, okay. Then I'll just pull whatever I'm drawn to pull. So, okay. Oops. Okay, that one didn't want to come out. And I also don't force it, because there are some cards that do kind of stick out, but you try to pull it and it's almost resistant. So I don't even bother with that, because that's telling me in my own mind that that's not meant to be drawn. So I'm going to do these 3 cards that I just drew, and then I'm going to do the power card with another deck, which I always do. And that's the one that's self-explanatory for you. So here we go. That's a nice one. Oh, okay. Oh, I like these. These are really nice cards. Okay. Okay, the first one is... Okay, let's try to get in the camera. I got a new camera, a new microphone, so I'm trying to get it. There we go. back to what you love. And basically saying your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. This is a perfect card for a lot of us. Now that we're in a newer, fresher energy, this is basically saying that we all need to get back to what makes us happy, what inspires us, and what makes us feel like we're contributing to society or to whatever we want to contribute to. And as for me, a lot of you know I'm in my STEAM journey. That is a wonderful community I'm involved with, doing these kind of videos that you all have been supportive of, which I really appreciate, by the way. And blogs and pictures and just all kinds of social media like projects. And I have a few more things I'm planning on the way. And it's such a wonderful thing because I'm so inspired when I haven't been that inspired for a long time. And some of it was life circumstances, some of it was that stagnant energy that was just making me feel stuck. And now I don't feel stuck because I feel inspired and fired up again. And that's one nice thing about STEAM. But it doesn't have to be STEAM for you. This is just my example, of course. But for anyone who feels stuck right now, understand that's a normal feeling. We all go through it from one time or another. Some more than others, of course. But right now, this is a sign for you to reevaluate what you're doing. Do you love what you're doing? Do you get joy from it? Do you feel that's something you truly can commit yourself to? And if any of those answers are no, then that's when it's time to reevaluate. It's always good to take time to be still and to listen to what's in your heart. Because we're all so used to fast-paced life and do and go. And believe me, I'm right there with it. So sometimes you need that time to be still with yourself and to actually reflect on your life a little bit and see what needs to be changed, what you might need to return to the roots of, and find that inspiration again. Now, it can be the littlest thing. It can be just a little tiny change in your daily routine, and that can freshen everything up. Other people, it will be a major move. Like literally a move, or a job change, or a relationship change, or even just changing yourself as far as giving yourself more self-care, or volunteering, doing a new hobby, that kind of thing. So it could be a lot of different things, but the common theme is to go back to what you love, and don't feel like you always have to be a hamster in a wheel, do the rat race every day. And even if you're in a job that you really can't quit or, or change because you have to pay the bills, face it, we all do. It's looking within yourself and finding what makes you happy and balancing that out where when you go to your job, for example, you might be going, I hate this job and it sucks and everybody sucks and, people are rude and, I don't get paid enough and nobody listens to me. Okay, that, I've been there. I keep saying that, I've been there. What helped me personally is when I started going back to that job where I had a different perspective. I always started thinking, okay, what is one thing today that I can do to make a positive difference? I deal with guests on the phone all day. And you've seen my hotel videos. I make fun of it, where these guests are horrible. And, and yes, I deal with a lot of that in reality. But I get a lot of nice people too. And I think for me, what helps me in that job is there one person on that phone I could positively impact today? Whether it's being extra nice, where they're not used to that, maybe helping them with a situation. We've had a few guests that had a death in the family, who had horrible circumstances, so they had to get a hotel room or, be there to support someone else. And if you can make their lives a little bit brighter just by doing the simplest things, that's what helped me. actually enjoy the job to a point. It wasn't 100%, I'll be honest, but it really did help me go to that job every day and deal with it. And I think that's something that a lot of us can look into and see, okay, maybe I don't like the job, maybe I can't change it. It's just basically, if you can't change the circumstances, change your attitude. So go back to what you love, make time for it, prioritize it, because that's what makes you you. Everybody has something that they love that is an essential part of them. And when we forget to do that or celebrate that, then we do feel stuck. We are stagnant. We are losing ambition. And that's not what we're here for. We're here for good things. Even in the middle of chaos, at least have some bright spot in your life that will make you feel a little bit better and be able to ease the transition. So that's the first card. The second card, I really like this one. Look to your inner strength. So it says you're stronger than you realize. And I'm feeling the energy that a lot of people need to hear this today. You are stronger than you realize. There are some situations in life that you feel like you're never going to get through it. That, oh, I can't take this. I mean, I've had a limit. I've had enough. I'm not good enough to get through this. All this negative self-talk, which is, again, quite natural, but it's one of those things that if you reflect on something that you thought you would make through before, and you look back in hindsight and go, wow, I made it through. I actually found strength that I didn't even know I had. And I pulled through it, or I became a better person because of it. And that's where your strength lies. Sometimes, and it's unfortunate, sometimes we have to go through tough things. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom. And other times we just have to go through annoying challenges we'd rather not deal with. And that's where we find our inner strength, because we don't just lie down and give up, even though we all might have moments where we feel like doing that. But we always persevere. We always end up pushing through. And that's when you find that strength you have deep inside of you, and you get through that. And there's always something brighter at the end, or the other side of it. Basically they're saying, just keep going. Don't give up. Keep the faith. Even if it doesn't seem tangible right now. They got this. They got you. And you're going to be okay. So just find that strength, tap into it in whatever positive way you can, and you'll persevere. And there are better things coming around the bend. So, and the third card is listen with your heart. It says you are listening to what is being said to you, but need to listen with a loving heart. Now, as you guys know, I'm a talker. I do love to listen. I do love to talk. So sometimes I have to tell myself, okay, less talking, more listening. And it's kind of the gist of this card. Basically, a lot of people hear others say things. They're like, yeah, okay, yep, mm-hmm. And then they're just waiting for them to stop talking so they can talk. And that's not really listening. Listening is listening with a whole heart, what the other person has to say, whether they agree with what's being said or not, and being open to what their feelings are and what their views are. And it doesn't mean you have to, go, oh yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying. If you're not, always be true to yourself. Be true to your own beliefs and opinions. But it's basically approaching it with a more loving approach, where there are a lot of arguments out there that say, well, I don't want people getting away with something if I don't say something. And if I tell them off, that'll be really good, and they'll get my point across. Well, there's a way of saying something, exact same thing, in a more gentle approach, loving approach that can actually just have as much impact as yelling at somebody or going off on somebody. So with this, they're basically saying, come from a place of love, come from your heart space, and maybe repeat what was being said to you, just so they know you understand. And so basically, that's what it comes down to: is listening with an open heart, caring about what another one says, instead of trying to hurry up and just get it over with. And sometimes you might miss out on something if you don't actually really truly listen, even if it's for a couple minutes, because somebody might have a different perspective, or that you hadn't considered, or a different insight that will benefit you in whatever you're going through, or just in viewing a certain topic that you're talking about. So it's really, really important to keep an open mind and an open heart. And it can really add a lot of value to your own life, or even just to that conversation. So they're just saying, listen. And even this can also apply to listening to your own heart, listening to yourself, because there are a lot of times we'll have emotions or feelings, or even gut feelings about things. We're like, yeah, whatever, I'm just guessing, and I'm just worried about it, and it doesn't mean anything. Usually when your heart is saying something very strongly to you, that's the time especially to listen, because our minds are amazing things, but they can be our enemy at times, because you have self-negative talk, or you overthink things. I'm a classic overthinker. I'm getting that under control now, much more than I used to be, but I am an overthinker, and a lot of us are. So it's a matter of balancing, again, those two things, is your mind and your heart, because your heart has a lot of wisdom as well. So if you listen more to your heart and those gut feelings that most of the time are not wrong, you'll do a lot better with situations. So now they're saying it's the approach. Come from your heart space and be open and loving, and listen to the person talking to you. They want to be heard just as much as you do. And when we close off and go, yeah, oh, okay, I hear you. Okay, just, hurry up and shut up so I can actually talk. And even though you're not saying that, I'm sure, but I would hope not. But that's what we're thinking sometimes, in some form or another. Maybe not that blunt, but you'll basically be able to trust your own instinct a little more easily. And that's really important as well as thinking with your mind, but thinking with your heart. Creating that balance between the two can really, really benefit you and others as well as that you interact with. So there you go. So it was a really good card reading this week. It's basically more direct. It was simpler, and since it's a lighter energy right now, there wasn't a whole lot of messing around and dancing around the subject. They just want you to know these things. And some of these things in these readings, some of these concepts, and even cards I'll draw, will seem very similar sometimes. You'll notice some messages keep repeating. And I've even had a couple of people in the past ask me questions like, well, why does it seem like such a similar reading as to your other readings? Well, the universe has a hand in this, where the same cards or the same messages will keep popping up as long as there are people who need to hear them. There's always some differences, of course. No reading is exactly the same. But I notice that if there are lessons that people need to learn, and it's the same ones, there's obviously people out there who need to hear those messages again. And it's kind of like the universe tapping you on the shoulder and going, hey, you didn't learn the first 500 times. Are you going to start learning this time? So it's kind of like a little tap from the universe. So I figure I'd address that, because I did have that question pop up a couple times, and I kind of thought that at first too, and then I realized, oh, it's a lesson I need to learn. especially when I was reading for myself. So it's interesting. God, the sun is like battling me today. I don't know what it is. Normally it doesn't lay in this long, and usually it past 5. Anyway, back to my reading. I have one more card, which was the power card. And again, that means I take a card from the bottom of the deck and I just show it to you. I don't go into elaborate explanation like I do with the rest of the reading. It's basically whatever resonates with you from that card. Some of you will feel a heavy resonance with it, and some of you might not. Some of you might think, oh, that's a really nice looking card, and that'll be it. So there's no right or wrong answer. So we'll see what the universe has to say. I am using another deck. It's the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. You've seen me use this deck too. I've pretty much shown you all the decks I have so far. I plan on getting more eventually, but right now I know I don't need any more, so we'll see. But if anybody gifts me some, I'm not going to say no. So just throwing it out there. All right. This is the power card. What did I say about repeating messages? Ocean, ebb and flow. Go with the flow. So in the ocean, you know how it does literally do this with the waves. So, and the start of a new day, sunrise. That's a beautiful card. I really love these cards. I love all my decks, but this one I really love. Okay, that's the power card. That's pretty good. I feel a really, really deep resonance with it myself. I'm dealing with a situation in my life still right now, and I'm not sure if it's going to have the turnout that I want it to have, but I'm starting to come to terms with it where I'm letting go of what I can't control. It's very difficult, but it's one of those things that helps me so I can concentrate on my journey right now. And this person's journey is going in a different direction at the moment and is dealing with a lot on their plate. So I wish them well and a lot of love. And, you know, if things are meant to work out, they will. And if not, you know, I don't hold any grudges or anything, and it's not that even anything really bad happened. It's just one of those things. I wish it turned out better, or differently. But I'm basically taking that card to heart, ebb and flow, go with the flow, because we don't know what's ahead of us. The universe does, or whatever you believe in. They know, but we don't. So sometimes it's better to not try to control the situation, especially situations we can't control. And it's a hard thing to remember because the heart wants what it wants. But I have a little bit more peace knowing I made that decision. So anyway, just a little side note. So I hope that helps anybody who needs to hear that. So anyways, that is my weekly Oracle card reading. I hope you guys got something out of it. Hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to doing the next one. It's going to be interesting how everything goes going into the spring and the summer. And I'm so happy with this beautiful weather, except when the sun gets in my eye. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support. Be on the lookout for my Facebook page. If you're not subscribed to that, I will leave the link below to that page. And I'll also be broadcasting that on Partico, so that way you guys can see that. And a lot of love and light to you. And remember, shine your inner light because you are worthy. Namaste. Whispers of Love card deck. Okay. And this is by Angela Hartfield. Yeah. And the harp, to me, it symbolizes harmony. And it's actually just awesome. No. Oh, what the hell am I saying? Ah! And also, don't. This light is getting in my face. Oh, awesome. This light is getting in my face. Oh, I'm gonna be blind. I see sunspots. So block of the sun. Yeah, there we go. Every single fucking day. So basically, God, I keep saying basically. Yeah, the last time I had something, I don't even know what the hell word it was. I was saying that a lot. Oh, the interesting word. And now I have basically. Oh, God. You think I'd learn. But, you know, I mean, we're supposed to be here to support each other and care about each other, at least to a point, depending on who you are. But, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just totally lost the train of thought because the sun is in my eye and yeah. So I gotta watch this because I have no idea what the hell is going on. Yo, get back to it. Really? Really? What? Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. Well, what the? Apparently, I don't know how to operate a camera because I thought it was on and it wasn't. But at least it wasn't on video this time. Otherwise, I would have done a major pixie stomp all over the place.